What's up, family? Man, back with another one. Man, you know what? I don't know why I always look down in my ring when as soon as I start this video. I just caught myself doing that right now. Man, my bad. Um, man, but I do want to have a heart to heart with you guys, man. Last couple of videos I've talked a lot, and I've kind of gone off on a rant, if you will. But it is what it is, man. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to understand who we are, you know. Um, and so I've gotten a lot of comments about, man, well, how do you meditate? What's the purpose of meditation? Because in Christianity they tell you not to meditate. Because you're not supposed to have your mind blank and all this other ignorant stuff that they don't know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Because even the Bible tells you to meditate on these things. So for them to say don't meditate, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go off on that tangent right there. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. The late great Dr. Miles Monroe stated once that when you pray, that's you talking to God. That's you expressing your wills, your desires to God. When you meditate, that's you listening to God. And say again, praying is you expressing what you want, expressing your concerns, your fears to God. Meditating is you sitting there in the presence of God, not asking for anything, not saying anything. You're just listening. So many of us, we've never heard the voice of God because we've never learned how to shut the fuck up and meditate. Oh, we going there today, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? We talk so much about, man, I pray and I talk to God all the time, but God never answers me. No, you just never learned to shut the fuck up. You just never learned how to sit there silently and wait for God to talk to you. See, so many of us, we're so busy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Can't nobody get a fucking word in. Can't nobody say shit around you because you constantly running off at the fucking mouth. Meditating is you sitting there in the presence of God and just waiting for the words of God to come to you. So many of us, we're so terrified of sitting in silence. We're afraid to sit there in silence. Why? Why are you so terrified to sit there in silence? Why do you always got to have some noise and chaos and drama going on in the back? So many, I can't go to sleep without the TV on. I can't go to sleep without music playing. I can't go to sleep without the radio. We always got some shit going on in the background. Why? Meditating is you sitting there and saying, okay, I'm not going to think about anything. And I can't control the thoughts that come to my mind. You cannot. And see, this is where we mess up at on meditating. We think that, okay, in order for me to meditate, I have to stop the thoughts from coming to my mind. I have to control the thoughts. No, you don't. You're never going to control the thoughts. You can't dictate what thought comes to your mind. You can't stop a thought from coming to your mind. It's all energy, it's frequency. But what you can do is choose not to dwell on that thought. What you can do is choose not to focus on that thought. Because as long as you're sitting there, oh, this thought's coming, oh, I'm not going to think about it, I'm not going to think about it, I'm not going to think about it, like, you're thinking about it. As long as you're running through your mind, oh, I'm going to focus on this, I'm going to focus on it. You're not focused on that. You're focused on what you're saying. We have to grow up. We have to grow up and understand that, man, in order to sit there silently, and clear this up real quick. There are thousands of ways to meditate. See, to meditate don't necessarily mean I have to sit in silence. See, to meditate, I could be in my garden. To meditate, I could be in the shower. To meditate, I could be drawing. Meditate, I could be dancing, just vibing with the music. And we just in the zone, just I'm in the zone. Meditate, man, I could just be taking a nice walk in nature. Meditate, I could be sitting there fishing. Meditate, some people cook from scratch. There are a number of ways to meditate. You have to discover what's the best way for you. That's part of your journey. That's part of your growth and development. Because what works for somebody else may not work for you. You may not be able to draw, and that puts you in the zone. You may not be able to cook like that. You might be burning some shit up, and that gets you stressed out. So that ain't meditating for you. But I don't care what type of meditation you do. Part of your growth and development is you're going to have to learn to control your fucking mind. You're going to have to learn to get your mind under control. No matter what style of meditation you do, whether you sit there on, no matter what you do, whether you do kung fu and that's your meditation, whether you go running and that's your meditation, no matter what you do, you're going to have to bring your mind under control. And what do I mean by that? See, thoughts are always coming to you, always. It's your job to control what you focus on. It's your job to control what you think about, what you process. The thoughts come all the time. Man, look at that girl. She's bad. Da, da, da. And most of us get caught up on the, oh, shit, God damn, that girl, da, da, da. You know what I mean? Or, damn, look at that dude. Da, da, da. And we go off on this fucking rabbit hole. And 5 minutes later, it's like, oh, shit, fuck I've been for the last 5 minutes because we was lost and caught up in that fucking shit right there on that fucking thought. Meditating and sitting there, no matter what you do, and just saying, okay, I'm getting in alignment with God. And what getting in alignment means, it's I'm bringing my mind brain, my ego brain, my heart brain, and my gut brain, my soul brain. I'm bringing all three together in unison, in alignment. But let me say, how can I say this? Information is always coming to us in our ego. God is always talking to us in our intuition, our gut brain, our soul brain. But we're not always listening to God. We can't always hear God because the great majority of us live in our ego brain, our logic, common sense, being practical, and all this other stupid ass shit. And so we're constantly listening and entertaining this shit up here. And so when I learn to meditate and I get in balance and I get in alignment, I take this up here and put it under my control in the aspect and say, nope, you ain't running shit right now. I bring my heart brain, my gut brain, and this brain, and I get in a perfect alignment. So now this ain't running shit. Now I can hear the voice of God. I can hear what God wants me to do. I can hear where I need to go because I'm in alignment. When you're out of alignment, that's where you have stress. That's where you have fears. That's where you have anxiousness and all this other stuff. Racism and bitterness and religious intolerance. You have all this other crap going on. Why? Because you're out of alignment. Anytime you have all these crazy ass thoughts, you're out of alignment. Anytime you have thoughts of slapping the shit out of somebody, you're out of alignment. Anytime you have thoughts of getting somebody back or clapping back or slapping back or whatever the fuck y'all do now, anytime you have any thoughts of, man, I'm gonna make this motherfucker feel my wrath and and this motherfucker ain't gonna just disrespect me and get over me, you are all out of alignment. The fact that you're sitting there having that conversation with yourself, you're out of alignment. The fact that you're sitting there getting yourself all worked the fuck up, you're out of alignment. The fact that you're sitting there and you're depressed and you're angry as fuck and you're bitter and you want some revenge and you're out of alignment. Anytime you're sitting there and you're depressed as fuck and you're suicidal and you're, woe is me and life's not worth living and I don't know why I got to go through this and life's not fair and I don't know why he did this and I don't know why she did this. I don't decide that. You're out of alignment. Shut the fuck up. Stop whining. You're out of alignment. You're out of alignment because you can't hear the voice of God. You can't hear the direction of God. You can't hear the guidance of God because you're all caught up in your fucking emotions. You're all caught up in your fucking feelings. You're caught up in your fucking thoughts. You're caught up in your dreams and your hopes and all this other stupid ass shit. And you're just wasting time. You're just wasting time. You're not in alignment. And so getting in alignment says, okay, my heart wants this, but my mind wants this. And I'm struggling because I love who I love. I want what I want. But my ego wants this. My ego said, fuck that bitch and fuck that motherfucking dude. He ain't shit and da. But my heart says love him. But I'm saying fuck him. My heart said forgive him. But my logic and my ego says slap the shit out their fucking ass and beat the fuck out them and don't talk to their ass no more. That's the war going on. So getting in alignment says, I'm not focused on my thoughts. I'm not focused on my feelings. I'm going down to my heart. I'm going to listen to my heart, but I'm going to go deeper. I'm not going to just listen to my heart. I'm going to go down to my gut. And this is why so many of the ancients taught, man, in order to meditate, concentrate on your breathing. Focus on your breath. Why? Because that comes from your gut region. There's some wisdom behind what they said. We just didn't understand it. And so we're literally focused on breathing. We're focused on our breathing. And we missed the principle of what they were saying. We missed the wisdom of what they were saying. The breath of life. Prana, the chi. Source. God consciousness, Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness. We missed it because we took it literal. Ego. So I'm going down to my gut brain. It's like, okay, God, I'm here. I'm just going to sit here. I'm not going to get caught up in my thoughts. I'm not going to get caught up in my feelings. I'm not going to get caught up on what I want to happen and what I need to happen. I'm not going to get caught up in the distractions of the world and who said this. And man, are we going to go to World War III? And man, the prices of food are going up. Man, rent's going up. Man, I can't afford this. I'm not getting caught up in the bullshit. Those are all fucking distractions that keep me out of alignment. If you follow this channel for a while, you've heard me say a number of times, man, I'm a walking meditation. I'm a walking meditation. What does that mean? I don't have to have a certain room. I don't have to have a certain place where I can sit there and get in alignment with God, Source, the Most High. I'm a walking meditation. No matter where I go, no matter what's going on around me, I can sit there in perfect balance. I can sit there in peace. I don't give a damn of the chaos surrounding me. Hmm. Okay, God, I see the noise. I see the bullshit. And it wants me to get mad. It wants me to get anxious. It wants me to get fearful. It wants me to get nervous. It wants me to get pissed the fuck off. I see it for what it is. I see the distractions for what they are. Okay. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. And the only way you can really grow up is by humbling yourself and getting in alignment with Source, God the Most High. You can't grow up without doing that. I don't care how many books you read. I don't care how many YouTube videos you watch. You're going to have to get in alignment. You're going to have to get in alignment. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. There are no shortcuts. There are no ways around it. It is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be. We got to grow up. We have to grow up. God don't care how many days you go to church, how much tithes and offering you pay, whether you preach, whether you teach, whether you play a musical instrument, sing, usher, deacon. He don't give a fuck about none of that bullshit if you ain't growing up. He don't give a fuck about none of that shit you do if you're not in alignment with him and dealing with your shit. See, it is by us getting in alignment that God reveals to us what we need to be working on. See, because your ego have you going all off on the tangent, focused on all this other shit. That God is saying, no, 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 no. Come talk to me. Come spend some time with me. I'll tell you what you need to focus on. I'll tell you what's going on with you. See, you've been focused on all that stupid shit for the longest, and all this did is made you hard. All this did is make you not trusting other people. All this did is make you fearful. All it's done is give you more fucking issues. By you focusing on all these things that's happened to you, it's only giving you more fucking issues because you can't fix it. Because you don't know what the fucking problem is. How the fuck you gonna fix it? How can you fix what you don't fucking understand? Humble yourself. Acknowledge the fact that you need some guidance. Acknowledge the fact that, man, you need to tap into universal consciousness, infinite wisdom. And when you get tapped into me and you hear me, I'll point you in the right direction. I'll show you through synchronicities and signs what you need to work on, what you need to focus on. Stop using your logic. That's not serving you. That's only hurting you. That's making you worse, not better. So the purpose of meditating is saying, okay, I need to plug in. I need to tap in. I need to get into the Akashic records. I need to tap into God to understand, man, where's all this coming from? Why do I feel the way I feel? Why do I think the way I think? We have to grow up. We have to understand. The answers are within us. They're within us. But you got to dive down to your gut, to the place where God dwells at within you. It's amazing when you really stop and sit back and think about it, reflect on this. Why is it that the things that we do, the things we consume, the food that ain't really healthy for us, the drinks that we consume, why is it that all this stuff fucks up our gut, fucks up our stomach? Why is our stomach so poisoned? Why is our mind so poisoned? Our mind is poisoned with the things we eat, drink, watch on TV, listen to on TV, listen to on our phones through YouTube and all the other stupid shit we watch. The raggedy ass, ratchet ass fucking music we listen to, the ignorant ass conversations we have, that pollutes and poisons our mind. And then we eat shit, breathe in this polluted ass fucking air, vape, smoke, drink toxic ass shit, consume white sugar, drink milk, and this shit fucks up our gut system. And then we're all confused why we can't hear God. We're all confused as to knowing that God is with us. We don't know who the fuck we are because we've been poisoned. We've been poisoned through religion. We've been poisoned through politics. We've been poisoned through our family. We've been poisoned through society. We've been poisoned through the fucking food and the shit that we entertain. And then we act like, man, I'm surprised that I don't know who I am. I'm surprised that my body's falling apart. I'm surprised that I'm 25 and I look like I'm 45. I'm 50 and I look like I'm 75 because of the fucking shit we put into our body. Now we want to act like a victim. The purpose of meditating is saying, okay, God, what do I need to do? Fuck the bullshit. You know what I mean? Fuck the bullshit. Fuck what everybody else is talking about. Fuck what Elijah talking about. Fuck what this person talking about. Fuck what this person talking about. Man, fuck all these. Man, God, what do you want from me? What am I supposed to do? And because the great majority of us don't have that connection, God sends people like me and other people, chosen ones. Man, speak to the people because these motherfuckers can't hear me. Speak to the people because they're fucking distracted. Speak to the people because these motherfuckers don't know how to hear me. These motherfuckers looking for me in outer space, and these motherfuckers looking for me over here in this mountaintop, way over here in this fucking church building that they built. They looking for me way over here in this fucking crack pipe. They looking for me over here in this woman over here. They looking for me through this dude over here. We so fucked up. We don't know who we are. And so God has to send people that look like you and me to help us understand, to help us remember who we are, to help us remember, man, I got to get back into God. I got to get back into not religion. I got to get back into my God. That's where my soul dwells. That's who I really am. I'm not this physical flesh. I'm not a black man. I'm a soul. I'm a spirit. My physical flesh is American. But my soul, who I am, is a spirit. It's God. We can't accept that. We don't want to believe that. But we'll believe that we ain't shit. We got to grow up. We got a lot of growing up to do. We have a lot of growing up to do. Your spirit ain't got a fucking ethnicity. Your spirit ain't got a fucking nationality. Your spirit ain't fucking Republican, Democrat, conservative, none of that bullshit. Your spirit ain't a fucking Christian. It ain't Muslim, it ain't Buddhist, it ain't Hindu, it ain't none of this bullshit. Your spirit, it ain't atheist. That's all this physical, superficial bullshit. Because we're not in alignment. Because we're not listening to God. Because we're not plugged in, we're not tapped in, we're not connected. Man, I hope and pray that I said something to encourage you, to inspire you, or to even challenge your way of thinking. We have to grow up. We have to understand who we are. We have to learn how to meditate, to get outside of our thoughts and our fears and our emotions, to be able to hear the voice of God. This is the only way that you can reach your greatest version of yourself. Man, I love you guys. Happy healing.